Hello students, this is Vaibhavi, your teacher, and today we are going to learn how to write a MBA project report. In previous video, we learned to write preliminary pages of MBA project, and from today's discussion, we are going to learn about chapter first, Introduction to Study. Chapter first, Introduction to the Study. Introduction. Describe the topic or the concept which you undertake for your study. For example, if anyone undertaken the study regarding training and development, then it is expected that student has to explain the concept of training and development and why it is important in the corporate sector. Explain how your study is going to help the organization to solve their problems. For example, how training and development will be helpful to solve competent human resource required by the organization. Objectives and importance of the study. Objectives of the study. It is expected that students has to start their objective accurately in the light of these objectives they are conducting their study. Importance of the study. While write the importance of the study, students are expected to find out the current gaps between the present practice and importance those situations. How your study is helpful that should be discussed with suitable example of your study area. Scope and limitation of the study. Scope. Scope means coverage of the study. The student expected to write the scope considering their study area. Second sample comprises etc. Limitations. Students are expected to describe the limitation of the study concerning 1. Training period 90 days limitations. Second, respondent related limitations. Secondary 3. Secondary of first hand data related. Research methodology of the study. The research methodology of the study should comprises A. Primary data. The primary data is collected through 1. Observation method, 2. Interview method, 3. Conducting survey with the help of questionnaire and schedule, etc. Strictly avoid theoretical information and kindly describe now how you practically implemented this method for your study. B. Secondary data. Describe the source you were used to collect the secondary data. These sources are books, records, registers, brochures, organizational reports, government publications, semi-government publications of banks and financial institutions, newspaper and periodicals, reports of committee and commissions, publication of international bodies, etc. Write only those sources which you actually used for your study. Avoid only to enlist them. Hypothesis of the study. Hypotheses are the proposed solution of the tentative answer to the problem and which should be proved or disapproved to your research findings. A hypothesis is tested by scientific method that relates independent variable to some dependent variable. A research study consists of two hypotheses, that is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. The hypothesis being tested is called as null hypothesis and it is designated as a zero. The alternative hypothesis is the alternative to null hypothesis. Both the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis is to be decided before data collection and those should be mentioned. These hypotheses are being tested by applying statistical tools like Z-test, T-test, F-test, and Chi-test. This the students has to make proper selection of the test. Sampling. For the purpose of research study, you al- already selected the sample that you have to describe here. Sampling is necessary when population is large. The student has to discuss here flexibility, reliability, efficiency, and representativeness of the sample which they have selected for the study. The student can describe the exactly which sampling method oblique technique you have used from 1. Deliberating sampling, simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling, quota sampling, area sampling, clustered sampling, multi-stage sampling, spot sampling, etc. Strictly avoid theoretically information and describe how you practically implemented these methods or techniques of sampling for your study. Thus, this chapter is devoted to describe and will discuss the concepts related present study, such as training and development, objectives and importance of the study, scope and limitation of the study, research methodology of the study, assumptions and hypotheses of the study, sampling of the study, etc. And next chapter is devoted to discuss introduction to the organization. Such type of closure expected at the end of the chapter. The student today will learn how to write chapter first, that is introduction to the study. Now let's study an example how one of the student write a chapter first of his study. Introduction to the study. See here how he has given introduction to the study. After given the introduction to the study, he has given statement of the problem and proper given conceptual clarification of the key terms of the study, such as a study the customer satisfaction, products quality, etc. Objectives of the study are described. After importance of the study is described. After that, scope and limitation of the study given, then describe research methodology comprising description of primary data, secondary data, sampling research, etc. etc. At the end of the chapter, researcher has given closure of the study. Thus, students, today we learn how to write chapter first, that is introduction to the study. This type of chapter written we can do for BCA, BBA, MBA, MCom, project report writing. Thanking you.